So you may already be familiar with Etsy Marketplace, but I believe it's very important for us to get an overview of the platform from the perspective of the buyer before we even start thinking about what kinds of product you're going to offer or start setting up your shop. So put yourself in a buyer's position right now, and let's say you just got to Etsy.com, and the first thing that you're going to notice is that Etsy loves special occasions. On their homepage, you're always going to see the next big event, and for the US right now, the next holiday is going to be Father's Day, so you're going to see that Etsy loves to select products, successful products, to suggest those to users. And that's going to be based on occasions as well as their recent searches. So if you recently searched for jewelry, for example, you would see a lot of more suggested jewelry listings here on your homepage. But right now you're going to see a lot of suggestions for Father's Day. And another thing you're going to notice is that, as I said, Etsy loves to suggest successful products for customers. And the way that they do that is that they get products that have a high conversion rate, meaning most of the users that have seen that listing and that have clicked on it, they've gone ahead and purchased the product. So that is telling Etsy that customers are satisfied with that listing. They love the images. They're happy customers. And obviously, Etsy is going to suggest products that are successful because that means more money for them. And obviously, that means more happy customers as well. So they're always going to have the hand-picked items, and that's going to be based on categories and occasions, and as I said, recent searches as well. And if you come up here, you're going to see that on the top menu, users can browse products based on categories, as I said. But another thing, as we said, that Etsy is known for giftable products and they love special occasions, is they have their own tab for gift products. And this is a very valuable page on Etsy if you're able to get there as a seller, because you're going to see that Etsy starts gathering all of these different options and making these quick lists for the buyers based on what they want to search for. So for example, it could be based on the person they are buying for, so for women, for pets, for family, or occasions such as graduation. It could be the feature that's constantly changing. For example, right now, as I said, Father's Day, or it could be personalized gifts. Sometimes users are on Etsy specifically because they want someone's name on the product or something like that. As I said, also by occasion. They also do it by price, by bestsellers, and the top rated gift as well. So just by analyzing these pages on the marketplace, it can start to give you some strategy on how to list your product. You definitely want to have top rated products, so incentivize customers to leave you good feedback, because that means you can show up here on top rated gifts. Or if possible, you want to offer the option for customers to personalize the products, because that means you can appear on the personalized gift product. And not only gifts, because as I said, Etsy is constantly having these handpicked lists that they are always offering and sending it to customers. So let's say that me as a buyer, I want to buy something very unique for my pet. So I can come here and click on pets and then browse through, and you'll see that on the search results, Etsy is going to show even further information. For example, if it's free shipping, if that item is almost gone, only one available, and it's in more than 20 people's carts. So that gives a sense of urgency for the customer as well. And they also say if the item is the best-selling item, which right now I'm not finding, but a lot of times when someone searches for something specifically, let's say, for example, pet mug, we just saw here. So pet mug. You will see that for that keyword, Etsy is showing that these are the best seller products. So here's another incentive for you to invest on your listing and have a bigger conversion rate, because you get these special banners that not only attract the user's attention, but it also gives you the opportunity to show up on those special picks by Etsy. So let's say I'm interested in this one right here. I can go ahead and click, and you're going to see that. This is how Etsy displays the listings. So first, all of the images, which is very important for Etsy, and we're going to talk about this later, the importance of images for your listing. The title here, also on the very top, there is the shop name and their feedback rate. So this is actually for feedback for the entire store. The way that Etsy does ratings right now, it's not per product, even though you're going to see that you can select reviews by product right here. So reviews for this item or reviews for the entire shop. But in terms of feedback and the stars that you get as a shop owner. Not only, let's say, if you have a really good product, but if you have a really bad product, it doesn't matter. It's all going to be merged together for you to have just a single rating as a shop. Then you're going to see here that when you're creating your listing, you're going to be able to create different options, and those can have separate prices. Also, if you're offering personalization, they can enter here, and we're going to see all that when you're creating your product listing. And if you scroll down, there's the product description that the user can read more. And right underneath the images, what's really important for Etsy as well are the reviews. So shoppers can see the reviews here per item or per shop right here. You can easily just switch. And if they just want to see photos as well, they can scroll down and just see all the reviews that include photos. And let's say I really like this mug and I want to see other products that same shop is also offering. The shopper can go here and just click on the shop name. And here is the shop's storefront, which we're going to be developing together when you set up your shop. Right here, you can see that they are not taking advantage of the shop banner. You can include an image here, and I'm going to open another option for you to see the difference. But they're not taking advantage of having a shop banner here. You can have a very eye-catching image or some sort of shipping information or anything like that. And then here are all of their products that they're offering. So let's go ahead and go back to another option because I want to show you guys another shop storefront that perhaps they took more advantage of the different features that you should definitely be taking advantage of, and we're going to cover everything here in the course. So let's say, for example, I'm interested in these pillows. Let me go and select. Then I'll go and select their shop. And there you go. Here you can see that they most likely put their best-selling products here as their shop banner. And not only that, they have created different categories for people to shop their offers more easily. So if you want just hand-painted face masks, you can easily go here and these are the options. Or if you want totes and purses, everything is categorized really well, which is definitely something you as a shop owner should be taking advantage of. And this is the overview of the Etsy marketplace, especially as we said from the perspective of the buyer, which is extremely important. And as we're going to talk about, you should always have your customer in mind with everything that you do, not only with Etsy, but for any business or any other sales channel. Definitely every single decision that you make, think about the customer. So that's why I wanted to create this video and show you guys an overview of the platform so you can also get familiar with it and see that once you make a change on the back end on your shop manager, how it's going to affect the customer experience and them finding you and you being successful in selling your products. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get to the next video. A lot of other Etsy courses and videos out there will do a good job teaching you how to set up your Etsy shop. However, if you don't apply the content of this video, your Etsy business will not be nearly as successful. So grab the PDF that I provided in the resources below and let's talk about brand and niche. First, why should you choose a niche? I want you to have this in mind. The product that appeals to everyone appeals to no one. When you choose a niche, that gives you authority. For example, would you rather have your brain surgery done by a brain doctor or by a general doctor? My guess is you would choose the brain doctor. They have put so much time and effort into studying exactly everything that they're going to need for your brain surgery. And they have not wasted any time studying about everything else they're not going to need for the surgery or any types of epidemic diseases or trauma or anything else that a general doctor would have to study for. Now, a less dramatic example. Would you rather hire for your wedding a wedding videographer or a videographer that does all kinds of occasions? They do graduations, birthdays, newborns, everything. My guess is you would rather choose the wedding videographer. You're going to have a lot more trust that they're going to be offering the best type of product and service for your situation. And the same will apply for your Etsy shop. When buyers see that you have developed a whole brand and different types of product around that same topic, they will think that you have put the most amount of time and effort into developing the best possible product to offer them. And that brings me to the next point, which is focus. When you choose a niche, you're going to have a lot more time to really understand that topic, that audience, to really differentiate your product and look at the competition and see what other people are not offering and what you can offer on your own products. And that's going to give you an advantage. Not only it's going to save you time, but it's also going to allow you to offer the best possible product, and that comes with a higher price point that buyers are willing to pay for the best possible product. Because if you were selling, for example, wedding invitations and pet supplies and home decor, you would not have the same amount of focus and the same amount of time to dedicate to every single one of those categories in order to really develop the authority and the best possible product for every single one of those niches. And that will also play a part when you're developing your brand package. Nowadays, if you have any type of business, you're probably going to need a presence in different social media platforms. You're going to want to develop a brand logo, the brand voice and values and the style of your brand. And when you're focusing on the same niche, that makes it 1,000 times easier. Not only will it save you time because you don't have to create all of these different brands for these different niches, but it's also going to help develop a very successful brand package and then use the same content that you use across different platforms. And then last but not least, when you choose a niche, you make it so much easier for you to scale your business. It's so much easier to develop new products or create bundles because once you put all of the effort to attracting a customer to your shop or listing, they're now going to be a lot more likely to buy your other products because it's all within the same niche. If they're interested in wedding invitations, maybe they're going to be interested in a wedding planner template as well because that's going to serve them for the same situation. So now you see that choosing a niche is the way to go. But how do you go about actually choosing your niche? I would suggest that you grab the PDF provided now and then start filling out and brainstorming ideas. And I would suggest you start with your own interests. I'm guessing that if you're starting this business, this Etsy business, you want to have passion for what you're developing and the products that you're putting out there. You don't want to invest time every single day on something that you don't really care about. Also, when you go about choosing a niche around your interests, that's going to give you a lot more motivation into developing a brand package. You're going to have more insight into the audience that you're serving. So I would highly recommend that you start listing your own interests. And then after you do that, the next step would be to validate those options. So how you go about that would be doing some market research. And I'm going to show you guys some really helpful tools that can assist you in finding out what is in high demand. From all of those options of your interest, you can use some tools to actually validate and see if other people would be interested in that topic as well, for you to develop your brand around it. And then last but not least, you want to consider the long-term strategy. So let's say you're a graphic designer and you want to offer wedding invitations, as we've been talking about. Would you want to do that for a long time? Or do you see yourself creating new templates every week or developing new things around the latest trends around that topic, around weddings and wedding invitations or wedding stationery? If the answer is yes, then that makes your niche a much more viable option because you won't burn out so easily and you're going to be able to scale your business a lot more easily as well. And after you've chosen your niche, now you can start developing your target audience. So in business, in order for you to succeed, you always need to have your customer in mind. And that's no different for your Etsy shop. So I would encourage you to create an ideal customer avatar in your mind. So you always have them in mind in order to know how to best serve them with your products. That does not mean that every single customer of your shop is going to fall under those categories. But it's very important that you figure out who is your ideal customer or who is the majority of the customers that are going to be interested in your products so you can really target them when you're marketing your products. So you can start by thinking about their demographics, what age they are, their relationship status, their gender, if their household income, if they have kids or no kids. Start putting together what you think your ideal customer or the customer that is going to be most interested in your brand and the products that you have to offer. Where do they fall into? Next, think about their interests and hobbies. What other things are they interested in? So, for example, let's say you are offering wedding invitations or wedding planners, something in the wedding category. What other things they might be interested in? Maybe they're searching for honeymoon ideas, or most likely they don't have kids yet and they're just starting to have to put their own house together. You can start thinking about other interests that they might have when they're coming to your Etsy shop. Another very important thing, and this is like the key to success for any business, is for you to find out what are their pain points. What is your audience really looking for that they cannot find? Why would they be searching for your product? What is lacking in their lives, or what would you be solving with your product? For example, would you be giving them ease by creating a wedding planner? Instead of them being very disorganized and stressed out, you will be solving that problem. And now it's going to be easy for them to check off every single item that they need to complete before their wedding day. So think about their pain points and their desires. So every pain point comes from a desire to have an incredible wedding without being stressful, or a desire to be admired by all of your guests in being very unique when planning your wedding and all that. Just be sure you actually take the time to brainstorm and figure out the biggest pain points and desires that your audience would have. Also, why would they choose your products? How would your product serve them? Or why would they choose your product and not your competitors? When you start thinking about those things, you start realizing that you need to offer value to that customer, and that's going to help you develop the best possible product. That's going to help you look at your products, at your competitor's product, and see what it's missing and what your audience is not getting when they're purchasing the product, so you can offer that instead. And then last but not least, think about where your target audience is. What other platforms are they at? Are there social media platforms? Or where else are they shopping? That's going to help you not only to develop ideas on to best serve them, but it's going to help you figure out how you're going to attract them, which platforms your brand needs to have a presence in order to find those customers and bring them to your Etsy shop. And then after you've done all that, you can start truly developing your brand. You can start thinking about your brand values and what you want your brand to represent. You can also think about your brand style. What do you think your customers are going to be drawn to? Do you want to offer products that are more minimalist and modern, or do you want something more bold and edgy or retro? Start thinking about what is going to attract this ideal customer that you have developed. And then what most people think about when they think about brand would be the colors, logo, fonts, all of that visual brand package side of it. Now, I know that there is a lot more that goes into developing a brand, but unfortunately, we cannot cover all of it in this Etsy course. However, we do have an amazing course here on Udemy talking all about business branding and how to create a successful brand that stands out from your competition. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave the link of that course in the resources below. And as I said, I would highly recommend that you invest some time into this topic and developing a strong brand before you open your Etsy shop. So I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, be sure to leave those in the Q&A below, and let's go ahead and get to the next video. So I wanted to go through this exercise together so I could give you some guidance on how you would go about developing your brand and choosing your niche as well. So as we talked about it before, I started by listing my own interests. So I put graphic design, home decor, travel, Christianity, friends and family gatherings, and entrepreneurship. And then after I brainstormed a little bit, I came up with these 3 different niches that seem to be in high demand, or at least trending right now. And there are things related to my interests, as I said. So there are Christian Science, party planning, and home office decor. And once I started thinking about the long term and how well I could scale that business and the different types of products that I could start offering within the same niche, I determined that party planning would be the best one for me because I really like graphic design. My husband and I love family and friends gathering, so I'm always interested in different ideas to make party and celebrations even more fun. So that would be a niche that not only would get me really excited to develop new products for and also really focus myself into giving really high quality services and products, but also I thought it's very well scalable and I could be doing that for a long time. So after I did that, I actually skipped to the next page and I started thinking about my ideal customer. And here's the great benefit of actually choosing a niche based on your own interests, is because a lot of times when you're thinking about that ideal customer, you already have that insight on that customer because it relates to you as well. So I was thinking that most customers that would be interested in party planning ideas and products, principles, things like that, would be females ranging between 25 and 35 years old, Americans, because I have the insight of all of the different American holidays and types of weddings, traditions and things like that. So for the types of products that I would be offering, my ideal customer will most likely be American. They would most likely be in a relationship because I'm thinking about products that involve, for example, weddings or baby showers or things like that. And maybe they would not have any kids, the majority of them, and be college graduates. Because as I start thinking about my niche and also the style of products that I want to offer something that is a little bit more elegant and a little bit more upscale. So I'm thinking that they would have at least a college degree. So when I start thinking about their hobbies and interests, I thought they would also love friends and family gatherings. After all, that's the niche. It's all about parties. And they would be interested in fashion and travel, as well as gifts, unique gift ideas, and how to make an event special. And they would also love home decor and social media as well. So they would always be on social media and getting new ideas of things like that for fashion or travel or home decor or anything like that. And then I started thinking about their desires and their pain points. So when you want to plan or party well, I started thinking what they want is to be seen as successful. They want to be admired for planning a party really well or getting that very unique gift to give it to their friends. So I thought about success and to also have memorable experiences. If they are invested and they really want to go the extra mile to make a party special with different principles or different decor or unique gifts, then they really value memorable experience. And they also value fun. So these are the biggest desires that I thought about my ideal customer. And some of the pain points would be to be too common or not special at all. Oh yeah, it was just any party like any other party that we've had before. So that would be a pain point of products that are just too common or not that exciting or something that is low quality and also something that is inappropriate. And as I read through some of the reviews on my competitors of similar items within that niche, and I would encourage you to do the same. And don't worry, we're going to be talking all about competitor analysis soon when you narrow down your niche. I saw that a lot of people love ideas of really fun, for example, game cards for gatherings, but those were not appropriate. They didn't think for the whole family or for all different age groups. So that was definitely one of the pain points. And that is something that I'm going to be using when I'm developing my own products. I'm going to be making sure that they're fun, but they're also appropriate for the whole family and for all ages. Which leads me to the next point, which is why would they choose my product? And that's because I'm going to be creative and offer very unique products for those memorable experiences. And they're going to be able to see that when comparing to my competitors' products. And as I said, I want to make products that are family friendly. And then last but not least, I was thinking, where would my audience be? And I definitely think my audience would be on Pinterest. There's so much party planning happening on Pinterest, whether it's DIY or just product ideas for decor and things like that. And they would also be on Instagram. I was trying to think of a social media platform that they would most likely resonate the most. And because Instagram is so design driven, I believe that most of my audience would be on Instagram as well. And then after I finished this exercise, I went back to my branding and I refined some of the ideas that I had already written down. So my brand values, again, would be family-oriented, fun, memorable, something that is quality and well thought out, not just something that is common or cheap. Something that is useful, that maybe it's even products that are versatile, that they can use throughout many different parties, and things that are beautiful, of course. I had to add that to my brand values. And for brand styles, the words that I chose were minimalist, timeless, and elegant. As I said, like thinking about my target customer, my customer avatar, I would think that they would value something that is elegant, but not too crowded, not too much information going on, more minimalist, and also timeless. They could use, for example, for their mom's birthday party or their best friend's birthday party. So across multiple ages, and that it would still look beautiful no matter when you used it. And then finally, when brainstorming about brand colors, I thought that I wanted to offer products that have neutral colors, but with an accent color, like that pop of color. And my husband's always making fun of me because I really like that type of style where it's very minimal and neutral, but it catches the eye with that one pop of color. It could be pink, red, or green. I also want bright colors and multi-tone colors. So for example, if I go with a green, I would probably be using different tones of green across the design. So after completing this exercise, I'm ready to start researching products that I can offer for this niche. And I hope you're ready to. If you haven't done this exercise yet, be sure to pause and really put attention into this business and really develop a brand that you're going to be proud of and that you're going to be excited to work on and grow. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get to the next module. Now that you have your brand and niche figured out, it's time to set up your Etsy shop. And as I mentioned in the introduction of the course, I'm going to be opening a brand new Etsy shop alongside you, so you know what it's like to open a brand new Etsy business from scratch. So without further ado, let's get to it.